the SAP work process administration part. SAP work process. This is our first topic, work process administration, right? So as part of this work process in SAP, as of now, what we discussed. So if I recap to the all our previous activities, what we did it till now, right? What we did till now here. So in the system, we are done the installation. After that, we discussed about the how to add the systems into SAP logon pad, right? How to add the systems into SAP logon pad, then how to log in, how to execute the transaction codes, right? So as part of this one, we are discussing about the work process. We have the 5+2. Here, first we are discussing about the dial dispatcher. Dispatcher is the dispatcher. We don't have any direct transaction code. Dispatcher is only for taking the request, assigning to the available dialog work process. If you have the more work process, more users can log in at a time. If you have the less work process, only less users can log in at a time here. So dialog work process is responsible to take the request and process the user request until user is done his work, then dialog work process will be free here that time, right? So SM50, SM66 are the transaction code to check the work process related information, status, all the information we can check it out. Then dialog is done. Then we discussed about the update SM13, SM14 are the update related things. We can see it in the SM13, SM14 here, right? So then also we discussed about the update. Update means once the user done the transaction, once he log into the dialog work process taken, so he's doing the one transaction, he booked the tickets or he's done the some tickets or payments or everything is done. So the updates, whatever the updates happens as part of the user activity, that updates, the records, the update records will be updated at DB level, database level by update work process. So whether it is updating correctly or not, it is failing or not. So those things we can check in the SM13, we can check it out. SM13, we can check. SM14 also we can check whether the update is active or not. We can check it out in the SM14 also we can check it out here. SM14 also we can check the all those things here, right? So here, so we can log into the our SAP system, whatever the entry you configured in the SAP logon pad. Suppose like NW1. We are working, we all are connecting to the NW1 here. So here, once you log into the user, either DDIC or basis user, you can log in. So then you can execute the transaction codes in the this OK code box. This is a OK code box here. Here we need to execute the transaction codes here. Here we can execute the transaction codes. Here we can execute it in the system, right? So that is the thing we have to do it here. Same as like SM13, SM14, ST22, SM21. So the users related, how many users are logged in, then SM04, AL08. So these things we discussed, dumps, ST22 dumps, SM21 if any system logs. So any errors in the system, we can go to the SM21, we can check the timings and change the timings and click on the execute button. So then here the logs will be updated. Here the logs will be updated here. Suppose you want to check the days before logs, then we can check it out the system, what's went wrong and all the information we can check it out here. When was the start? What is the error, what is the communication error, what is the field, what happened in the system. So all the information we can check it out in the system. So recently last 24 hours, are there any critical errors, are there any high level alerts? So we can check it out here, we can check it out here. So this way work process is terminated manually by the basis user, then 01, and also manually terminated. So there is one of the VSK user, someone created as a user as like a VSK. So all the information we can track it. We cannot escape from system. So it will be tracked everywhere. It will be tracked somewhere. Your log will be written who deleted what, who activated update. Someone is activated the update, someone deactivated. They have done the practicing. So As part of the practice, this is common. Okay. So everything will be tracked here, right? So we cannot escape. SM21, ST22 are for the dumps system, dumps related information and everything here. So those are the things here. So coming to the that is what we discussed till last week here. Up to here we discussed. So now let's talk about the Enqueue work process. Enqueue. Enqueue is available in the Enqueue. So Enqueue is available in ASCS instance. Enqueue is available in the ASCS instance. So the responsibility of this work is called the locking locking mechanism here. Enqueue work process SM12, it's kind of locking mechanism here, locking mechanism. So it's kind of locking. So SAP, so suppose like trans SAP, it locks the some of the objects. It locks the objects here. The user it lock the objects. So it delete the objects. So something it will do it in the SM12 here. SM12 it will locking mechanism. Locking mechanism means suppose what's happening here, what will happen. So this is the reservation book ticket, window number, seat number 32, something like that. Here you have the one user. Here you have the one user. So what you are going to do, suppose you are going to book this ticket, you are booking this ticket, right? You have selected the seat, you are booking the ticket means until you complete the transaction, either success or failed, this seat is yours only. You have locked this one. But one more person also is also trying to book the ticket, that is not available. It says that is already full, already using by the other user or something like that. It will give the message to the other users here. Other users, it will give the message here. Why? Because the object is, the seat is locked here. Why? Because he is booking the ticket. And also you are also booking the ticket, the same seat, two persons are booking, there is a inconsistency, right? Then both we have to fight in the bus, right? So that does not happen. So to avoid this type of inconsistencies, whoever the first is going to lock that seat, that book that seat, that is applicable for him only, right? Until you finish the transaction, then your transaction is failed, then seat is not booked, then the seat is free, then one more person can view it during that time, refresh and view, then he can set the lockings and everything, he can set it out here. So this type of things will happen in the during the locking mechanism. So locking mechanism means, so suppose I'm trying to do the some screen, some company code. I am trying to edit it in the system. Suppose example. So here I am going to some of the one of the transaction code is called the SMLG. I am going to click on the create the some groups. I am trying to create it here. So let me take the one more screen here. One more screen here. Right. So this the same one more person in your team, one more person in your team is also trying to do the similar activity. Then go to the SMLG. So if you execute the transaction code, it says that boss, so the transaction is already logged by the user basis. We have only display possible, which means one person is already editing the transaction. One person. So one of the persons, so editing the transaction here. One of the person, so editing the transaction. So he cannot do until he completes the transaction. He cannot do anything in the system. Like that, it will give the clear information. So once he done it, other person can do he can add insert the record entries here. So, but sometimes other persons also edit it. We can also edit it. Some tables, some transactions. So suppose like one person is booking the ticket, you can book the one more ticket, not the same person ticket, same seat. You cannot book it. Other ticket, other seat, you can book it out reservation, right? So something is possible. Something is the shared one. Something is not shared one. Only one person at a time you can edit the table entries, not the other person. Why? Because you are also doing the same entry, he is also creating the same entry, means there is a mismatch and DB inconsistency. To avoid the database inconsistencies, so the SAP will do will lock the table, will lock the table here when you are doing the editing. So it will say like we have locked this table until he finishes, he done it, then one again if you access, that is available here. Then whoever the first access, so the transaction code, the table is yes only. Sir, he's done it. He locked yesterday, 2 days back, Friday back, he locked it. He went for the break still. So we are no one is doing unable to mean it's a very strange issue, which means we have to inform to the user he is not responding. Then we can what we can do? We can take the approval and we can delete the lock entry in SM12. SM12, we can go to the SM12. We can see what went wrong. We can see who is the user is locked the transaction. So just check it out. Click on the list button here. So we'll click on the list button here. What we can do? So something like see one user is doing the some USR04 table. So my user currently I am doing the some table lock some table entries I am adding. So lock entries are exist. So here the lock entries, there is a thumb rule from SAP or our organizations. We keep it like if any lock entry which are older than 24 hours, older than 24 hours, here the date and timestamp is there. If any lock entry older than 24 hours, what we can do? We can delete the lock entry. Select the lock, just click on the delete button. So that if you delete it, then only others can able to edit the transaction. Others able to can edit the USR same transaction code in the system. Others can do that one, right? If you do that one, right? So you deleted one of the transaction, you got deleted here. One of the transaction you got deleted here. But you said, oh, I only done it, but you don't, no one don't know I deleted it. Then you are calm. But when you go to the SM12, you are saying you are assuming like no one don't know whether I deleted this lock entry. No one don't know, right? But when you go to the SM21, SM21, when you go to the here, click the execute button and you see here clearly it will display like who deleted what, when deleted, who deleted, what is the IP is using. So what is the terminal using, what is the program using, what is the terminal SAP training one host name used it here, what is the table name is deleted. So what he deleted, lock entry deleted manually. So who is the work process helped you? What is the user? What time? So you have all the records are in place here. System logs, right? So can trace it here. Some others will trace it here. Others can trace it here. So, but you we know I only done it, but no one don't know. If you assume it, that's the wrong one. So everybody can see the logs. If you see the logs, then you are in the hit list. So that is the reason when you are doing this type of deletions activities, approvals are in place. So you need to inform to your manager or respective team. You have to inform it saying that we are going to do the deletions. We are deleting the lock entry as per our recommendation. If the lock entry you got older than 24 hours, then others are unable to do the transaction. Then we can delete it here, right? So that is the lock entry SM12. We can check it out. In SM12 is the transaction code. We can check. So what are the older than we can check the lock entries here. If the lock entry has more than 24 hours, older than 24 hours, then we can delete it after taking the approval. So that is about the Enqueue work process. Enqueue work process here. Update, then Enqueue. So all will work. So all the work process in the house, in the house, our SAP house, SAP Big Boss house, whatever the process are there, all the process will do the similar work, not the similar work. So it will do the task.
Hello, sir.
Each work
I
process,
have a question.
each work process has dedicated responsibility. It will perform the each that process only, that work only it will process. So
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have a question here.
yes, yes,
Hello.
you can ask me.
Yeah. What type of question recruiter will ask regarding NQ locking mechanism?
Enqueue lock mechanism. So that's what I'm saying, right? So suppose you observed there are the 2 days back lock entries are there. What you will do? You observed there are the 2 days back old entries are there as part of your day-to-day activity. If you observe there are lock entries are there, what actions will you take? Then in this case, what we can say, if the as per our organizational standard, if any lock entry older than 2 days or older than 24 hours, that lock can be deleted from SM12. So he will ask like, will you take any approval or directly will you delete? No, 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 we have to take the approval. So once the management is okay to delete it, then we can delete the lock entry. How can you delete it SM12? So here we are answering professionally, we are answering here. One is the process wise, we are taking the approval. Then, so one more thing is you are checking with your management saying that with the screenshots and everything, you are checking with your management saying that properly you are requesting here. Why? Because tomorrow, if some audit happens, so because of you deletion of the lock only, my transaction got lost. So then there is a loss for the company, something like that. They will question you. So in case that's why take the approval, then delete the lock entry.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, how many types of lock modes are available? Sir, you can see it here. They are the some lock entries, right? Some lock modes are there. Every lock mode, any lock mode which are older than 24 hours, we can delete it. But background, there are some types of lock modes are there here. But it's a very confusing topic, but I will explain it. So here you can see your client is fine, user is fine, which date you have the lock mode is there, table name, lock argument means it's internal process. What is the table, it is established the lock entry and everything fine. Once user is done the lock, suppose like what I will do, I will close this session, I will go back, then again I come to the lock screen, just refresh it, the locks are gone. Means once the user done it, the lock will be deleted automatically. You no need to wait, lock will be gone. So, but there are the types of locks are there here. There are the some types of locks are there in SAP here. So what are those types of locks in SAP here, right? So there are the four types of locks are there. Four types of locks are there here, right? So one is the S, E, X, O. So just confusing topic, this one. That's why actually I won't explain this one to anyone. Why? Because it's a very just a small confusing topic here. Whatever you remember now, that is well enough. No one asked in detailed way, but I will tell you, we have the four types of lock modes are there. So yes, yes means shared lock. Yes means shared lock. In the shared lock, what will happen? The transaction, several users can access the locked data at the same time in the display mode. In the display mode, hundreds of number of users, several users can access, can display the data in the display mode here. So shared lock means system will decide which lock mode you have to assign to the respective table. System will decide it here, not you. System will take. That's why system will decide. You no need to worry about that one. System will decide which lock modes I have to assign and everything here. So if the lock mode is S for the table, then several users can display the data, same mode. He cannot write or anything, just he can display the data, transactions, he can display it here. So the request from further shared blocks are accepted, and even they are the different users, the locks are accepted here. Locks are accepted here, right? So E means exclusive, exclusive lock here. Exclusive lock. Exclusive locks are protected locked objects, protects the locked objects. So, which means, so exclusive locks are, E means exclusive locks. That object is protected against the remaining users or remaining transactions to be protected. That's why when we use the, so when we go to the SMLG, we have the exclusive lock. Let me check that one. Why? Because this cannot be shared. This lock entry cannot be shared. Let's right click it. And when you're creating, then when you come to the here, E, exclusive locks means the object is protected against all type of locks or type of transaction here. Only lock owner can reset that lock only, or so we can delete it. Administrator, we can delete it here. That is called the exclusive lock. Sometimes this lock number lock mode is yes. Shared means that is a shared one. E means exclusive. X exclusive non-cumulative lock here. So above one is the exclusive. Cumulative, this is the non-cumulative lock here. So whereas cumulative locks can be requested several times by the same transaction released one by one. So but non-cumulative lock can only be requested once by the same transaction. So but if any other request, it will be rejected here, right? That is a small difference between the exclusive and exclusive non-cumulative. Exclusive non-cumulative here. Exclusive say non-cumulative here, which means so exclusive means so locks are protected by the locks are protected locked objects, then others can display the data, everything he can do that one. So whereas exclusive locks can be requested by the several times by the same transaction code, multiple exclusive locks we can establish it here. But when it goes to the exclusive non-cumulative means, so exclusive non-cumulative means it can only be requested once by same transaction. Suppose each further, the lock request will be rejected here. One transaction only, one lock entry. Exclusive means multiple transactions, multiple lock entries will be accepted here. So that's why small confused part here. That's why, so you don't need to remember, just to know about the how many types of lock modes are there, right? So means optimistic here. Optimistic lock entry, which means locks are initially behave like a standard locks can be converted into the exclusive locks here. Optimistic, pessimistic. Sometimes when the normal discussion of your friends chit chat, or you are a optimistic person, easily you are converting from to one person one to another optimistic. There is a something we will have the discussion, right? Same kind of optimistic locks means initially behave like a shared lock, but can be some after that sometime based upon your activity to be converted to the exclusive lock. Initially shared one, so anyone can listen. Then after that, it will change it to the exclusive lock here. After that, it will convert to the exclusive lock here. That is called the optimistic locks here. There are the four types of lock entries we have. So Enqueue mechanism SM12. Okay, got it. That is the Enqueue work process here.
Sir, sorry to disturb. Is it possible to show in practical ones these types of works?
Types we cannot show that one. Only the we are not sure, right? Which object, which table is the exclusive, that I can see. So, but let me open one more transaction. System will decide which log entry. I mean, how the system will decide, not by humans. System will decide it here, but we can only see in the SM12 we can see it here. About sometimes if we go SM30, what I can do? Let me try to here. What I can do here? HTTP. I'm trying to edit it here. Maintain. So you are something editing here. So let's see the lock entry. What is the lock entry? We may face it here. Nothing here. So let me take one more session. same transaction S11 so let me try to create. So this is allowing. So this is allowing here. Let me see. Here I can add in the entry. So here also you are trying already exist with the different name here. Change. So two tables, one table, two different sessions. I'm trying to edit it here. So it is asking the access key. Click on the exit contents. Click on the execute button. Nothing. It's not easy to reproduce all the things. So its system will decide based upon that one. So here. One. Oh, yeah, it's not possible. We can it's possible, but we need to spend some time. So for in which method, which lock entry will be reduced, but we are not sure. But but if we spend some time, we can do that one. We can reproduce it here. We can reproduce it. That's possible. Here one more lock entry. One more person is going to create the user. Something like someone trying to create the user. Exclusive lock. He is trying to create the user. So let's see the user creation. I think multiple persons, multiple times he can create the users. So let's say, so here I am going to create the user. Yeah, is done, I think. My user com basis 3. So let me take one more screen. Here also let me go to the user. Basis 4. Let's click on the create. So one more user you are trying to create it here. So here let me see one more user. Yes, it is also exclusive lock. User 4 user 0 table name. Yeah, okay, some locks can be, we can reproduce it. So some locks will be decided by the system. That's why this reproduce will be decided by the system here. System. So not by humans. System will decide based upon the situation during the runtime. System based upon the runtime. Based upon the runtime. System based upon the runtime. The system will decide it. Okay, so here, so based on that, system will decide this lock entry. Okay, so just we can only see as part of our regular duty. We can see our regular duty as part of this one. We can go to SM12, SM12, right? SM12 we can see. Then here we can check the client remove star or anything. You can put it out. Click on OK and see how many lock entries are there. You can check it out here. Only one lock entry is there. So currently that which we are doing here. So then we can, so if it is the timelines is near to not the more than 24 hours, we can ignore it. If the older than 24 hours, We can take the approval, select it, click on the delete button. Click on the delete button here. So the log entry will get deleted automatically. The log entry will get deleted here. Okay, that will happen. That's what we have to do it in the systems here. Okay, that is the locking mechanism. Okay, so yeah, that is the locking mechanism. And yes, that is the locking. Next one is the background jobs. BVE completed. B background work process. So that required the more time. That's we can discuss tomorrow. But let's discuss about the